Hello and welcome to today's IDS Vision channel. My name is Patrick Schick, I'm Product Marketing Manager at IDS and I'm your host today. Before we start with the session, some housekeeping topics. Just if you have questions during the session, use the Q&A section here in Zoom and write your questions in there. We will answer them then at the end of the session. If you watch the video in our media library, just write your questions into the comment section and we will come back later to you. But now, let's start with the topic, is AI, artificial intelligence, a game changer or is it a short-term hype? For those of you who maybe just come around about a topic and are the first time here in our IDS Vision channel, I would just slightly give you some boundaries why we discuss today this topic. IDS is one of the world's leading manufacturers in digital industrial cameras, based here in southern Germany, and we're building since 1997 industrial cameras and all the accessories which are needed around. And as we work with industrial cameras, we see that there is more and more trend coming up that not only the camera as a component is relevant, also the machine vision application on the camera is relevant. And for us, we focus on AI. So you see here our product portfolios. We have classical 2D cameras, we have our IDS NXT series, and we have Ensenso, which makes 3D. Our talk today just focuses on the topics around the AI vision system, because we see that in the area of machine vision, AI is a relevant topic. Is it that relevant that it is a game changer or not? Before we step into the topic, I think nowadays it's not feasible to start a talk about artificial intelligence without naming ChatGPT from OpenAI. I mean, they started with a blast within weeks or even days, from primary school up to parliaments, ChatGPT was a topic. Who's writing my terms now? Who is writing the talk for me? Is this article in the newspaper written by AI or by a real journalist? A lot of questions just came out, and artificial intelligence again comes into focus, and I think in a half year a lot of things we would do just completely turned around. But the major question, and that's what's all from primary school to the parliaments or the experts are still discussing, is ChatGPT now a game changer in writing? Do we need texters in the future? Who will write all the studies and papers for our daily news and magazines? Based on the news and things I read and hear, I think most of you would agree ChatGPT is a game changer. At least at a first glance. Because it could be also the case that ChatGPT is only fascinating at the moment, because it's new and therefore it feels like a game changer. Again, here maybe we can answer the question for us at the end of the talk, because I see a lot of parallels to the usage of artificial intelligence in machine vision and how we work with the images. So therefore, let's start with the question: is AI a hype? And why is it a hype at the moment? The simple answer there is because we can. If you look back in time, the origins of AI lie in the 50s. Since there have been ups and downs in artificial intelligence. So we have decades where you're not allowed to talk about AIs in the field of education. And we have decades where it pops up again, depending on wherever someone has made a step forward in research, or some other comes up with, yeah, AI is a dead end, don't talk about it. And why is it today a hype? As told, we can. AI needs a lot of data and a lot of computing power, and both are available since recently, thanks to digitalization and graphic cards. So we are just once again in an artificial intelligence high. And I think sometimes seems as if could only write good software if at least a part of it is AI based, or you could only bring a product onto the market when there is artificial intelligence written on it. For example, I just read a paper about that someone brought out a automatic coffee machine with included artificial intelligence. The coffee machine now can learn your behavior and provides you the right coffee. So if you drink in the morning more a cappuccino and after dinner an espresso, it will, based on artificial intelligence, suggest you what you would like to drink. On the other hand, is this not classical mathematics, and do we really need artificial intelligence to solve such a kind of problem? So, hype, yes, and I would say this is not unusual in the artificial intelligence environment. And also, I would predict for now that this kind of hype will go back again, as it was with other highs in artificial intelligence in the last decades. Okay, then why the question game changer? As a manufacturer of machine vision components and machine vision software, I would like to focus on the topic artificial intelligence on a view of machine vision and automation with machine vision, because I think in this area AI is always a game changer when rule-based machine vision comes to its borders, to its boundaries. So you cannot solve it with classical rule-based machine vision, or it's hard to solve. On the other hand, it's also a game changer when there is simply no one who could develop it, because we do not have enough developers and programmers for all the requests for things we can solve with machine vision. Let's take a topic which is really familiar here in the region of Obersulm, because we are a wine region. A lot of grapes are growing here. So let's have a look at this grape and see, is it healthy, or is this sick? Is this grape in a normal growing phase, and we have only to wait some time till the grape is ready to harvest? Or is this grape sick and we cannot harvest it, we have to get rid of it? With rule-based machine vision, you now have to start and define, okay, on what kind of properties I could see that this is only in growing phase, or which is a clear identification for this grape is sick. So, and then we step by step must check the properties and then try to develop this in rule-based code. A solution based on artificial intelligence just goes a completely different way. You took an expert in grape growing, and you let this expert judge if this grape is healthy or sick. As this is the daily business of those people, they clearly can see, okay, this grape is sick and we have to cut it off to get a good wine. Maybe this person cannot describe you which are the properties and on which base he or she decides that this grape is healthy. But by only looking on it, the person can say healthy or sick. And that's the key. And there, artificial intelligence is really the game changer, because now you could take the knowledge of this expert and bring it into machine vision. There's nothing else than to do than to show these people a lot of images of grapes, some healthy, some sick, and he judges. He labels the images and say, okay, this is sick, this is healthy, and so on and so on. And with this information, you train the neural network. So we do not need a machine vision expert to program and code the properties and details how to identify healthy or sick grapes. You need an expert in grapes, and with this you can train a neural network. And the next time you can, for example, on an IDS NXT camera, let the neural network run. And just imagine you are driving to your vineyard. You have a camera on the left and the right side of your tractor, and by every drive-through, the camera checks the fitness and healthiness of your plants. In this case, of the grapes. So with every drive-through, you would get an information, okay, hey, this grape gets sick, or everything is in a good state. This would be a really major next step to reduce, for example, fertilizers, to really have a more ecological agriculture. Because now we could work every time on point, especially on the right grape. We know, okay, this one is sick, there we have to work with, and this one, everything is fine, just let them go. So let's make a short excursus into the medical area, where this topic is much more well known as, for example, in agriculture, as I described. A lot of X-ray images, which are taken through normally visits at the doctor, or if you have broken a bone or something like this, an X-ray image gets done, the bone is checked, there is a measure, and then your bone is fixed. But now this X-ray image may contain a lot of more information than only there's a broken bone. If you provide this to an artificial intelligence which is trained on detecting the early stage of cancers, for example, or other disease, you have now this big database of X-ray images, and you automatically can check them if there is a chance of someone gets cancer or some other disease, completely automated. So there is no doctor needed for this. There is only an artificial intelligence, a neural net, which is trained by the experts to check if there is a chance of diseases or not. So 2 topics, I think, where we could clearly see that artificial intelligence will change the way that we work and will enable completely new workflows, solutions and technologies. Before we come to the end of this session and to the conclusion, it's debunking time. I would like to get rid of 2 myths in the world of artificial intelligence in general. One is AI is complex and expensive. I think with ChatGPT OpenAI shows that with AI, everybody can interact and work without greater and deeper knowledge. There has to be no questions which architecture the network has to have, which hardware I need. You can just go to your browser, put your question or your sentence inside of it, and ChatGPT will work. When we look in machine vision, there are often the same questions. Okay, what kind of hardware do I need? What will this cost? Where I get this expert who is deep into artificial intelligence? That's not necessary. If you use, for example, a system like IDS NXT Lighthouse, you neither need knowledge in artificial intelligence nor in writing code. We link up down there the video from our January session of the IDS Vision channel, where we showed how easy it is to build up your first neural network and check if your application can be solved with IDS NXT Lighthouse. And even it's not only quite easy, it's at the beginning completely free. You don't have to buy something, you don't have to do a big invest, then a half hour of time and just register on our IDS website. So, artificial intelligence do not have to be complex or expensive. Our next topic, which leads also a little bit to the conclusion, AI can do everything. And there I have to say, no. AI is not a general tool for everything. In Germany, we have a kind of saying, if I have a hammer in the hand, everything tends to be a nail. Sometimes it at the moment looks similar in the area of machine vision. We can solve everything with AI because this is our tool we have in our hand. I think AI is a great tool, and it's a massive tool which will have a huge impact in how we work today, but it's only a tool in our huge tool set of machine vision to solve the daily topics we have in machine vision. But I would encourage you, just as told before with IDS NXT Lighthouse, try and test AI in the area of machine vision. So let's come to our conclusion. From my point of view, the appropriate answer is it is a game changer and a short-term hype. Because in many areas, artificial intelligence has changed the way we work with images. We can solve completely new topics. So AI enables us to do things faster and to get working with problems in the machine vision world which were not really solvable with rule-based machine vision. On the other hand, it helps us in the area, in the lack of experts in the field, because we now only need the expert for an application, not the machine vision expert. This is a big change that makes the life easier. We can get rid, in a lot of cases, from one role, the machine vision experts, which is also often not available. I see also a huge potential in learning in the topic that we have to learn which are the right application for artificial intelligence, where it really brings advantages to us and in which point not. So this is also the part where I think it comes to a kind of short-term hype, because we have to learn this. We will see, from my point of view in the future, that artificial intelligence gets to a normal base of, okay, it is another tool in our huge tool set in machine vision. So not every problem has to be solved or will be solved in the future with artificial intelligence. Maybe you do not even know that it is solved by artificial intelligence because it gets normal, so the hype gets down. AI, game changer, and short-term hype. And as we started with ChatGTP, so let us end this session also with ChatGTP. I asked it if ChatGTP think it is a game changer or not. And here's a short answer to you. In conclusion, ChatGTP is certainly a fascinating and impressive technology. But it is too soon to say whether it will be a game changer in writing. Its impact will depend on how it is used and integrated into various industries and applications. From my point of view, nothing to add. We see the same topic in using artificial intelligence in machine vision. So if you are now interested to do the next step in artificial intelligence, as told, just check out our January session, how easy it is to start working with artificial intelligence. And if you're interested how easy it can be to integrate AI into your machine vision application, also don't miss the session on the 28th of February. There I will give a short insight how easy programming can be without writing a single line of code. And now it's on you. Just bring up your questions.